Welcome to In Depth with Academia. I'm Richard Price, founder and CEO of Academia.edu, and today we're unpacking a fascinating and, well, pretty timely paper, one that might challenge your assumptions about education, the state, and what it really means to have freedom of conscience in a pluralistic world. The paper we're diving into is by PJO, and it's called Homeschooling, Freedom of Conscience, and the School as Republican Sanctuary, an analysis of arguments representing polar conceptions of the secular state and religious neutrality. Yeah, that's a mouthful, but stay with me. It's a paper that asks a really fundamental question. Is home education, homeschooling, civically legitimate in liberal democratic societies? And more specifically, does your answer depend on how you view the secular state and its supposed religious neutrality? Wild, right? Before I get going, remember, my goal here isn't to endorse any particular view or conclusion from the paper. I'm presenting these ideas neutrally because research like this is about starting conversations, not ending them. Okay, so let's set the stage. Why does this matter for you? Well, whether you're a parent, an educator involved in policy, or just a citizen who cares about how your society handles diversity and basic freedoms, these questions hit close to home. PJO explores two rival conceptions of secularism. The Republican version says that religion simply should not appear in the public sphere. Schools, under this view, are sanctuaries of civic neutrality. No religious expression, period. On the flip side, we have the liberal-pluralist model, which argues that religious neutrality is just a means to an end. The real goal is protecting freedom of conscience and religion, because in the end what matters isn't shutting down religion, but ensuring people can live authentically, openly expressing their beliefs, whatever those are. So what does this have to do with homeschooling? Basically, supporters and critics of home education draw on these two conceptions to justify their positions. Those who see schools as Republican, secular sanctuaries may oppose homeschooling out of fear. It fragments civic unity, or they worry it shelters kids from the diversity they need to participate in democratic life. Others, often from the liberal-pluralist tradition, see homeschooling as an expression of parental conscience, one that deserves legal protection alongside public schooling. Both sides, as PJO shows, usually claim they're defending the true spirit of democracy, which makes the debate kind of complicated. To dig deeper, the paper examines a key legal case, the Romeike family in Germany, who, after facing legal penalties for homeschooling, sought asylum in the United States. This real-world example grounds the philosophical argument. These aren't just abstract ideas, but actually shape people's lives and decisions. The Romeikes felt their conscience, rooted in strong religious beliefs, obligated them to teach their kids at home, but the German government saw it as a violation of the civic norms that compulsory schooling is meant to instill. How courts and policymakers interpret situations like this, the paper argues, depends on which secular lens they're using. And here's where it gets tangible for anyone listening. Most modern societies are wrestling with increasing diversity, not just in religion, but in culture, values, family structure, basically the broad sweep of what it means to be a good citizen or a good parent. Decisions about education aren't just technical or administrative, they're profoundly ethical, because every approach to education, home-based or state-run, is built on some vision of the good, some underlying set of values, and when those values collide, as they will in any pluralistic society, we face choices about accommodation, inclusion, and mutual respect. Oh, and before I forget, there's a really intriguing analogy in the paper comparing moral identity to a genetic code. Think about it, every individual's beliefs and combination of values make up this intricate, unique moral genotype. It's not just about whether someone's officially affiliated with a religion, but how all their beliefs fit together to guide action. That means that legal and ethical arguments shouldn't get stuck on whether a belief is religious enough. They need to grapple with the sincerely held core convictions that shape people's lives. I have to say, right about now, I remember this random fact about quarks. Stay with me for a second. How sometimes understanding the structure of a proton means dealing with forces and properties you never actually see directly. It's a bit like this. The visible debates about schooling or policy are shaped by the unseen, deeply held frameworks people carry in their heads and hearts. Okay, not sure that analogy went anywhere, but that's the fun of academic digressions, right? Shifting back, The paper doesn't claim there's an easy answer, or that one side has it right. It's urging listeners, and really educational leaders and policymakers, to slow down, reflect on their assumptions, and recognise that their own beliefs about secularism, neutrality, and the role of the state might be colouring their judgments more than they realise. So, what's in it for you? Maybe it's this. Next time you hear a heated debate about homeschooling, or what schools should teach about religion or values, remember, it's not just about policy, but about foundational ideas like autonomy, conscience, and the very purpose of education itself. This paper offers frameworks to clarify your own stance, or at least to appreciate the legitimacy and the deep history behind other people's perspectives. Okay, let's wrap up. Remember, academic research like this doesn't hand us the truth on a silver platter. It invites us to examine, question, and better understand the tangled web of values we're all living with. That's it. For today's episode of In Depth with Academia, I'm Richard Price, and thanks for exploring these big, important questions with me. Until next time, keep thinking and keep the debate respectful.